Hello everyone, welcome to Canberra Engineering College, the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today we are going to discuss on second module, which is microprocessor and microcontroller. Okay, the second module consists of microprocessor as well as microcontroller. In detail, we are going to study about a microprocessor and microcontroller. So the topic is microprocessor and microcontroller. Let's see what is inside the content. We have the introduction of microprocessor system, the basic elements of control system which we have already studied in module 1. Then we have microcontrollers, and finally what is the difference between a microprocessor and a microcontroller. This is what we are going to learn. And the next part is the microprocessor architecture. The microprocessor architecture terminologies like what is CPU, the central processing unit, then memory and address, input, output and peripheral devices, ALU, which stands for arithmetic and logic unit, instruction and program. Then we have something called as assembler, data, registers, which is a memory part, then program counter, flag. Then we have fetch and write cycle, which is exactly how we write a program on the microprocessor, and then state, bus, interrupts, and in detail about Intel's 8085A microprocessors architecture. Architecture means if I open a microprocessor and look into it, what all things I can see, how is it organized. So that is what we are going to learn in this particular module. It's an interesting topic because we are going to study about a microprocessor. Now, what is a microprocessor? So before I give a definition for microprocessor, I want all of you to understand or visualize a microprocessor. Most of you are using your laptop or else a desktop or else a mobile for seeing this video. Now the main part of this components is a microprocessor. In case you are using a laptop, the main part of the laptop is the processor. Depending upon the processor, your laptop rate is going to increase, right? So processor plays the most important role. Now what is the example that I can quote? The Intel Core i3 or Core i7 or Atom, these things, whatever is put as a sticker on the laptop, that is the microprocessor. So that microprocessor which is present inside the laptop, that is what we are going to learn in detail. Now let us go with the definition of microprocessor. What is a microprocessor? Microprocessor means it is an electronic device. It is not a mechanical or a electrical. It is a purely electronic device. Okay. What all it does? It has many memory locations known as registers. So this microprocessor is having some location which is called as the memory location, and that memory location we call as register. And what is the purpose of that? It is to hold the information. Like in our human body, we have a memory location called as the brain, which is used for holding the information. Similarly, microprocessor has a memory location called as register to hold the information. Next, it has a capability to understand a fixed set of basic commands and perform operations as instructed. So the microprocessor is capable of doing certain functions or certain operations, and also it is able to execute certain commands as instructed by the ALU. What is ALU? ALU stands for arithmetic and logic unit. So this particular unit, which is called as the ALU unit, will do the arithmetical operations as well as the logical operations. Arithmetical operations like addition, subtraction, division, And logical operations, like you already have learned about the logic gates. So the logic gates like AND gate, OR gate, these operations is carried out in the ALU. Next, it can generate signals to control the external devices, which is the control unit. So the microprocessor has a control unit, and what is the function of the control unit? When I connect my microprocessor to an external device, for example, I connect my laptop to a machine, that machine can be controlled by using my laptop. How? Because the microprocessor has that capability to control that particular machine. For example, I want to control the speed of that machine. I increase the speed in my laptop, or I activate a switch in my laptop. That laptop, which is connected to the microprocessor, which is in turn connected to the machine, will control the speed of that particular machine. So these are the main things what a microprocessor do. Next thing is that the microprocessor chip has several pins over which the microprocessor sends or receives information. So if I want to send a signal or if I want to receive a signal, the microprocessor has to be connected. How do I connect it? It is connected by using several pins. So whenever you try to open a microprocessor and see, you can see there are some legs for it, okay, which is sharp, and that legs which is sharp is called as the pin. And what is the purpose of that pin? That purpose of the pin is to send or to receive the information. The connection between the pin is termed as lines. Okay. The microprocessor has several lines. What are the several lines of a microprocessor? Now let us look onto it. It has address lines, which is called as address bus. So a group of lines or a group of wires, when it is connected together, we call it as a bus. Okay. So address line, which is present inside a microprocessor, is called as the address bus. And what is the function of this address bus? The function of the address bus is to address to a particular location or to identify a particular location. So like how a postman, by looking at the address, he identifies our house. Similarly, the microprocessor using the address line will identify the location. The next one is called as the data line, which is commonly called as the data bus. So as I already told, lines represents bus. A combination of lines is called as a bus. Now what is the purpose of data line or data bus? The function will be to transmit the data from the microprocessor to other components or from other components back to the microprocessor. Okay, that is the function of data bus. Third one is the control line, to control the input and the output devices. You have input and output devices connected to the microprocessor. Now if you think of desktop, you have a mouse, we have a keyboard, then we have a printer or scanner. These all are output devices. If I want to control these input output devices, the control lines will take care of it, and these control lines are finally connected to whom? It is connected to the microprocessor. And last, all other signals, whatever is required for controlling the off-chip memory, that is again done by using the microprocessor. So we have so many lines, 4 types of lines or buses. One for addressing, one for data purpose communication, one for controlling, and final one line for doing all other things other than these 3. So these are the lines of a microprocessor. Now if you look at the organization of a microprocessor, you can just see, if I open my laptop and find the microprocessor, okay, you can see their Intel written. Now if you open that Intel cover and see exactly inside that, you will find that there is one unit which is called as ALU, the arithmetic and logic unit. Then on one side you can find registers, and then you find a control unit. So these are the main components. I am not telling only these 3 are present. These are the main components. You have an ALU, we can see registers, we can see control unit. ALU for doing arithmetical and logical operations, registers for storing purposes, memory locations, control unit for doing all the controlling action. And whatever you see outside these things, these are the pins, or these are the lines, or these are the buses. So if the microprocessor has to be connected or it has to work, means some input I need to give, that is given by using the power supply. Only then it will start working, because it is an electronic component. You require an auxiliary power source. Yes, you give the power supply to it. Next, you have input output lines. See this arrow mark, both the sides, means it is bidirectional. It can give the information and it can also take the information. Whereas you can see some address lines where its function is only to transmit the data from the microprocessor to the locations, not back. So back happens in data lines. Okay, it's bidirectional. So whatever you see over here, this entire sketch is the organization of a microprocessor, the components of a microprocessor along with the lines. Is it clear?